Hello. Welcome back to my spaceship. In this video, we are going to create images like these ones here. Super useful stuff for phone backgrounds, desktop wallpapers. We got really nice gradients in here, super smooth stuff, nice shapes, and yeah, clean and simple material in here. And yeah, these are some examples, and let's start right now. Okay, let's go. So we opened up Blender. First thing we need to do is delete everything that is in here. So press A, select everything and hit X to delete it. And we are going to create a new plane. So Shift A, mesh plane. Hit S, scale it up a little bit. Something like this should be fine for now. Now we are going to the edit mode tab and right click to subdivide it like 5 to 6 times. One more. So you got a nice grid here. And now we need to select the edges here. So you can just eyeball it, take a couple of these, not too much, but just a couple of these. Take a couple of ones here in the middle. And next thing we're going to do is go onto the vertex options here. We are going to create a new vertex group. You can press the plus here and rename the new group to pin, for example. And now you need to assign these points, the selection you made right now. So hit assign. You can test this if you click into the empty space here, have nothing selected, and click select here. Yeah, so we got these ones. We are going to use the cloth simulation. So you can go back into object mode, select the plane, and create a new cloth simulation. Quality steps can be 12 here. So type in 12 and you're scrolling down to the shape tab here. And in the shape tab, we are selecting our pin vertex group we saved earlier. And before we start the cloth simulation, we are going to rotate this one here. So go to the top view, hit R and 45. R and 45. Go into the side view and rotate it to something like this here. This should be fine. We are going to test this right now. So go to the first keyframe here and press spacebar. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Go back to the first keyframe. We hit tab again, go into the edit mode, select everything, press A, and we subdivide it one more time. Okay, go back into object mode, hit spacebar. Yeah, this looks better. So let's run this a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I hit spacebar again. And we right click on this object, convert this one to mesh. Go into the side view, rotate it a little bit so we got it more plane-like style here. Right click, shade smooth. Next thing you're going to do is go over to the modifier tab. We hit a subdivision surface on it. You can make the levels to something like 2. We can increase this later on. Let's create a material for our cloth plane here. So you can drag this a little bit up here, our timeline. We change this one to the shader editor. drag this up a little bit more and create a new material. So this is a really easy material. We just put the value to 1 on metallic and roughness on 0.2. And that is basically it for our material here. We are going to select the world settings here. So from object to world, change this here. Delete this one with X, hit Shift A and search for sky. And we need a hue and saturation node, so search for hue and saturation and plug this in the color and the color into the surface. Okay, sun rotation to something like 160. And something else we need, we're gonna change this later on. Okay, let's create a new camera. Shift A, go to camera, where is it? There. And we're gonna need a new viewport here. So let's drag this here. Hit Option Shift Z to get rid of the grid here. And click this one here for the camera view. Press N, go over to view, camera to view, and again, and let's find a perspective that we can work with right now. Something like this. And let's see what is happening here. We need to change the render engine to cycles. And while we're here, we can also change the color management. So open the color management here, select filmic and high contrast, and we get the exposure down to -2. Okay, let's fine tune our sky texture and hue saturation here a little bit. Sun rotation to 180. We want the saturation and the hue saturation node to something like 4. And the hue to 0.48. We can go back to our camera view here and search for a spot that is interesting. You probably need to take some time here. This is the most time-consuming part, to just explore these shapes and find a cool spot that you like. Okay, I found a good spot. What I usually do now is duplicate the camera with Shift D, right click, select the second camera and find another cool spot I would like to render. So I create like a couple of cameras with different angles, so I can render all of these images, find the best images here. And if you got a hard time finding a good angle, you can change a lot of values here. For example, you can select this plane here, hit S and Z to change the whole shape here. And move around with the camera again to find a good spot. If you can't find anything, you can always change the plane here. Transform it a little bit and it changes the whole setup here. This one's actually pretty nice here. You can always go back to the world settings here and change some values, and for example sun size or sun intensity and sun elevation, and get a whole lot of different results here. Yeah, it's basically a lot of experimentation here. If you don't like your shape, just repeat this process, pin some other faces here to make the cloth simulation, and you get a lot of different results. Yeah, try around with this until you find something that you like and render some camera views here, select the best ones, and you got nice stuff. So if you are going to render this, I would definitely change the samples here to something like 500. That usually looks pretty good. And yeah, don't forget to go down to the color management here and change the exposure. I usually go with -2 for almost everything I do, but you can change these values. Something like -3 in this case would work really good too. And yeah, now you're basically ready to render this one. Yeah, so I really like the way of working like this in Blender, where you get an easy cloth simulation here. It's a pretty basic material, and you just take some time and finding a good angle here, find some cool spots you want to render, just exploring the file and take some time with it. And that's a really cool flow. I really like this one. That's it for the video, a quick and short one. If you like this one, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you want,